Hey, how's it going? Tonight I am going to work on dehydrating all the garlic that we grew last year. We grow more than enough for us, but we always have some left over. And the garlic that I grow, I do hardneck garlic, which hardneck, it's not flexible. It's very tasty and it's very robust flavor, but it doesn't keep well. So by late January it's starting to go dry. So I want to get this last bit of the garlic that we haven't used or haven't sold put up so that we can keep it for quite a while. So that's what I'm going to do today. You can, sorry about that. You can see I've got quite a basket. This is our harvest basket. We use it all over. So I'm going to just process all of this and put it in the dehydrator. We got these little trays here, and I've got quite a stack, so I can do quite a few, and we'll just get through the process. It's not terribly difficult. There's a couple of tools that you can use. This is one, and it works to just pull the skin off. And then we just start working on one tray. And I just slice it in half, just like so. So I'll start working on that until all of this is put up. And yeah, good timing because it's starting to turn. So this way we'll be able to have garlic for a really long time because it's great in stews and soups, rehydrates perfectly. And if you want garlic powder, you just put it in like a coffee grinder and you have instant garlic powder, and it tastes way better than anything you find in the store. So with that, I'll get to it. Well, we've been at this for a little bit now, and I held back a couple. These are going to be for my fresh garlic. But I just wanted to make a couple suggestions. Dehydrating is really fun. It's actually quite addictive. Once you figure out how to do it, and you get past the concern if you're doing it right, you can dehydrate anything, and it's one of the best ways. It's so space conscious. I mean, you can can stuff, you can freeze stuff, but when you dehydrate it, it takes up the least amount of space. So just a couple notes. Whenever you're dehydrating, you always want good fresh produce, whether it's carrots or garlic. Like any of these little spots that are bad, I always cut them off because you don't want to dehydrate any rotten areas. Get yourself a dehydrating book and they'll give you all the basic instructions you need. Do you like these? I'm really proud of my garlic. My garlic has won first place in our local Bethlehem fair for several years in a row. It's some people grow, there's two kinds of garlic. Soft neck garlic, hard neck garlic. I grow hard neck garlic because I can't seem to grow soft neck garlic. The bulbs come out tiny. So stick with what you're good at, right? So without further ado, hey, if you have any questions, by all means comment, because I'll answer you. We've learned a lot over the years. Every year we learn something new. I want to give a shout out to the Deliberate Agrarian, who is the blogger who got us into garlic in the first place. We read his blog way back in I think 2007, and he made it sound so awesome, and we ordered our first set of garlic and started planting it, and every year we replant the same garlic. We raise our seed, replant it, and every year it gets better and better and bigger, and the flavor is amazing. So without further ado, let me get back to cutting or we'll never be done tonight. Okay, where's the lid? Are you... Okay, so we ended up with 6 trays. Not bad. We have filled... I don't know how tall the camera's set, but we have enough to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trays high. This dehydrator, you know, you can... There's a lot of reviews out there. I like this dehydrator. My brother bought us our first one when we had our house up in upstate New York. And we used it and used it and used it until it died. And then we bought another of the same style. And then we have twice as many trays. And the trays are expensive, but you can pick these up. Some people like the square ones because they fit on your counter better. It's really personal preference. This works just fine. So I would say some of the less expensive ones that you can get don't have the temperature variation, and that is a nice feature.
And the blower.
What?
And the blower.
And this one does have a blower, so it circulates the air as it dehydrates. We've done apples, garlic, carrots, potatoes, beef jerky, chicken jerky, turkey jerky. Oh my heavens, I can't even remember. We've done so much over the years. And we'll keep you updated on everything else we do. We're always slicing stuff up on the nights and weekends. So we're going to put the lid on. Can you still see me? We're going to set it to fruits and vegetables. And which one do I unplug? I don't want to unplug the light. Oh, I did. That's alright. And we're going to move it right back over here and clean up. It's going to be, we'll check on it in the morning. And then we'll check on it every couple of hours, probably every 6 hours. It doesn't take all that long, but it depends, because that was pretty juicy garlic. But I'll check on it in the morning, and we'll keep checking on it until it's done, and we'll keep you updated. Have a great night. Well, it's been overnight, so let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, they're a little soft yet. Some of them are definitely done. It won't hurt them to go a little longer. So when we're done running errands today, we'll check them again. So it's been 48 hours. We've checked this a couple of times. I put it on film once, but I've been checking it morning and night. And I think we're just about done, not quite. This is the garlic that we sell in our farm stand. And you want it to be dry and brittle. You don't want any soft or squishy places because that means there's still water in it. And these we've had for a little while. You can store them in canning jars. As long as they're airtight, they'll last for years. Once they're good and dry, they're good. And it's far better than anything you're going to get from store-bought. So let's take this off. Shut that off for just a second. And we're going to look at what we've got here. See, now this one, that one's, the thicker pieces are still a little spongy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through, I'm going to pull out the dry ones. You can pretty quickly see the ones that aren't dry are a little bit darker because they were a little bit thicker. Cutting them by hand isn't a perfect science, but you want them good and brittle. And then they'll keep for a long time. If you put the moist ones in, they'll spoil. They'll mold in the jar. So ideally, you can leave them and let them all dry fully, but they'll dry faster if we take out the... So I'm sure we're going to speed this up as I sort through these. It's very interesting. Some of them that I would have thought were dry aren't. Alright, so I went through each tray and I sorted them out, and every batch that you do when you dehydrate food can be a little bit different. The ones that are definitely dry are the ones, whoops, that were sliced on both sides, so they were able to release their moisture much faster. And the ones that I've left on the tray primarily are, I don't know if you can see it in this or not, that's a not cut side, so the moisture got trapped in there, and you can see they're still pliable. So my helper over here helped me turn while I was sorting. We're going to turn all of these over so that they can release the rest of that moisture. If you haven't seen there's a I missed a couple. There's a documentary that just came out on Netflix. It's kind of controversial, but I found it very enlightening because I've grown garlic now for, I would say 2007 or 8. Like I said, when I learned about it from Deliberate Agrarian. And we've always grown our garlic ever since then because the taste difference is just amazing. But I didn't realize that most of the garlic that you buy in the store is grown in China. And so this documentary that I came across the other night, I guess they're doing a whole series called Rotten. It was very eye-opening, and it, again, you gotta take it with, is it, you know, journalism to try and get people upset, or is it actual journalism? I don't know, but I have to think there's some truth to it. And it was a little disturbing. It made me very glad that I grow my own garlic. It's probably one of the easiest crops to grow because it's like tulips or daffodils. You simply plant it in the fall, just before, I mean, the ground can be almost frozen and you can still get it in. But you want to get it planted in the fall before the ground freezes solid. So October-ish for New England, depending on where you're at. Late October, early October if you're further north in Vermont or those areas. And you separate each clove and you plant it. And you let Mother Nature take care of it over the winter, and it just does its thing. And that's one of the crops we'll highlight next year. Where's the next tray?
These are all been flipped.
These have all been flipped? Okay. We'll walk you through that whole cycle. Yep, we'll put this back on. Plug it back in, we'll let it go overnight. I'm guessing these will be done by morning. They're not that far from being done, but they're still pliable. And if you get one piece of fruit or vegetable that's not fully dehydrated, that moisture can cause the whole batch to go bad. The only trouble we've ever had was with beef jerky. We had several jars that weren't fully cured, and they turned green with mold. It was gross. But so this fall we will. This spring, we'll show you the garlic that's coming up. It's one of the first things that we weed in the garden in the spring, as we're just getting out there, getting the ground worked, and then we'll harvest late June, early July, depends on the weather. If it's a hot year, it might be earlier. But, you know, there's several steps. The garlic kind of takes care of itself. That's why I said it's kind of an easy crop to grow. You just plant it in the fall, let it go, feed it, keep it weeded, and you just get to harvest it. It's one of my favorite crops to harvest. So we'll let this go, but that's pretty much the process. So I won't put you through the rest of this. We'll take care of it. Keep watching and learning every day. So we're at the final stage. We've now let what we processed in the last section dry for another 24 hours. And it looks like we're good. I'm going to pull out one or two that aren't, and I just keep those separate. Yep, these are all. We certainly don't want ones that are not fully dehydrated to go to people that are purchasing them, because you know, if we have any trouble with them, we'll just use up those here in our home. But there's something to be said for just getting a project finished. These are all looking fantastic. I can tell very quickly by look, the ones that were just a little bit thicker. I just know. And it's just by experience after having done this for a couple of years now. You just get to know what's good, what's not good. Magic hand, yay! I'm going to speed this up a little bit. The ones, as you go down further in the dehydrator, they dry better. Good. Okay. So these last few I will send along to the kitchen and we'll use those up. But now we have this beautiful bucket of dehydrated garlic. So the next step in the process is we get our product labels, our product bag, sorry. I always say the wrong thing. If you've never been on camera, so anyway. And that's how we fill up the bags. There'll be a link below if you want to purchase any of our all-natural garlic that we've dehydrated. Just click the link below and support the farm.